Hi, my name is Jennifer Cooke. I am starting case number 13, the kitchen makeover. So a couple of thoughts before I get started here. Haven't been really looking forward to this. I actually recently did my pantry clean out probably only a few months ago. Life kind of got crazy, and I can see that just by looking at my pantry. I haven't been making the best choices at the store, purchasing things. I haven't stayed organized in my pantry, so that way everything is getting kind of shoved to the back and I don't know what I have. So this will be a good way to clear out everything and start eliminating things that I don't need in my pantry, and hopefully replacing those with better options, better organized, so I know exactly what I have. So when I'm doing my meal prep, I don't have to double order things that I don't need. So this is the start. My kitchen is pretty clean, which is good. So trying to coach myself through this whole process, I am first trying to notice a name, feelings that I'm having, and why I'm having those feelings, and yeah.
You want me to notice a name? Like what? So, I know I have a messy pantry. I know there's junk food in my messy pantry. I feel like a lot of the stuff I don't want to throw away because I feel like I possibly could use it someday. So that makes me feel like I'm going to waste money down the road, because if I have to rebuy it again, I don't like that feeling of wasting. So yeah, notice and naming. I know I gotta get this going though. However, I know that this case study probably came at a really good time for me, so I'm excited. I am going to stay positive. I am going to go through things one by one, get reorganized, and I know when I do this, it's going to set me up for success for the next at least few months before it kind of gets crazy again, and maybe I will put some things in place where I won't get so unorganized again. All right, let's do it.
All right, first thing what I'm going to do is we are going to clear off my kitchen table. So I have a place to stick foods that I'm going to keep. I'm going to have a trash bag for things that I'm going to dispose of. My recycle bin, I'm going to get that emptied out. And then my trash can and a box to put things in that I can possibly donate. So here we go. All right, been working on this for about 30 minutes. Have had some interruptions by my kids, my family, but they are now out of the house. Now I'm going to start cleaning off my shelves of like wiping it down and everything. And yeah, that's going well.
All right, I've been trying to follow the steps that we kind of put in place. I am organizing. So we are going to organize by foods that are junk and that I have to evaluate, because these are things that my kids eat a lot of. And so I need to figure out if those are going to stay or if those are going to go, or if that's something that I can maybe, once we're out of it, then I replace it with an alternative. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Then I have a bunch of canned goods, and I'm going through expiration dates on that. And foods that are expired, they're gone. And foods that haven't expired but I know our family will not eat. So we're on the right track. Whew. Okay, so I really did not expect when in the article for our study it said like remove like moldy furry things. I really didn't think I would find that. I did. It was a bag of really good quality brown rice, but I guess I had opened the bag and left it there and never used it again, and who knows how long it was been there. Whew. Okay.
All right, reflection time on doing the pantry clean out. I actually really enjoy cleaning my pantry because I know there's lots of great things happens when I get all organized and organized. However, coming into that moment, it was probably one of the last things I want to do this weekend because I had a lot of stuff going on. Knowing that I had to prepare for this, usually when I do my pantry clean out, my rest of my house is not clean, which makes it very difficult because when you start on a project like that, it seems like the rest of the house just kind of goes out of control, and then you're playing like double catch-up mode. So luckily, I've actually been having a cleaning lady come to kind of like help me out, and so my kitchen was actually really clean and my house was really clean. So that helped me kind of prepare, knowing that once I was complete with the activity, I wouldn't have to worry about the rest of the house being way behind on being clean. So that was super nice. The next thing I did to kind of prepare was to get a plastic bin that I was going to use for anything that was not expired, but I could donate to our church. That was one bin. I set my table up and cleared it off, and I put all goods that I had to go through, that I didn't want to make that decision right then and there on whether or not I had to keep it. I just wanted to pull everything out and lay it out, and I kind of like sectioned it off where it was like the junk food was way in the back, the middle part was the questionable stuff, and then the front stuff were all of my canned foods. And then the third thing I had were trash bags, which I ended up having to use a lot more trash bags than I had anticipated. I also used part of my counter to start with for all the expired things because I wanted to see how much I had in my cupboard of expired things, and that was like,
what? There was so much expired items in my pantry that was just clogging up my space. And no wonder why I could never find anything, because all this stuff was just sitting there doing nothing. And you can't donate it because it's all expired. It had to go. And it was a lot of trash.
so really when I came down to criteria, because I had so much expired items, I didn't really have to give up much of the so-called red foods that I have in my closet. I did have a whole list of them, and really they all kind of like include my kids' go-to stuff, the cereals, the crackers, all that kind of stuff. However, I am going to work with my kids on the next shopping trip to try to start replacing those items with something that's a little bit better for them, that they can have like a quick grab and go item. So we'll see if that works. I don't know.
Because I'm sorry, but to get rid of those red items right away from my kids, I think there would be like a meltdown crisis in my household. And I can't handle that right now. This is not the time or place in my life to be fighting these kind of battles. So I'm going to kind of like ease into that, because Mama's got to feed the kids right now. That's really, really important.
So during the process of everything, I actually really kind of like was on shutdown mode mentally. There wasn't a whole lot of debating with myself whether or not I had to keep it or throw it away. I really kind of was like a robot and took everything out, cleaned everything, put it back in, got rid of all the stuff. It was more the preparation of me thinking to myself, you know, how am I going to organize, and how is this going to be better from like the last time that I did it, and what can I improve? And I definitely wanted to improve by making my pantry like look nicer, because I'm thinking if it looks nicer and I knew it was going to be cleaned out more, that maybe it won't get so overcrowded with stuff again, that it will keep me from buying things that I don't need or I already have.
I am definitely, now that I can kind of see what is back in my cupboard, I'm definitely happy that it's clean, it looks pretty, and it's organized. However, I can see there's so much more room for improvement on what I have. And so I think over these probably the next month, I'm going to try to figure out things that I can replace the items that I have in my cupboard, such as I have like graham crackers for my kids, I have goldfish that I love, and one thing that I do try to do is buy the kind that my kids like and not the kind that I like. That is one thing I try my hardest with. I have a lot of pasta noodles in there, maybe trying to switch those over to like a whole wheat, something that's a little bit more down to like from the source kind of a thing. I think in general, pantries are just not that great. They're usually filled with processed things things that are canned, high preservatives in them, boxed, in plastic containers, all things that are far removed from the source that they were originally intended from Earth, right? So, we're probably going to be building a house someday, probably like the next 2 years or so, we'll see. And I think it would be really interesting if I could completely eliminate not having to use a pantry and only using whole foods. So that's kind of one of the goals I have in my head. I feel that sounds crazy to not have a pantry. Like in the back of my head, I'm like, Jen, you have to have this food. This is like your survival some days, that you don't have time to go to the grocery store and you're just going to pull something from the freezer, whatever canned food you have in there, and make dinner for your family. So, I don't know. But this is kind of like my goal that I have in my head, that if we are using more natural foods, whole foods, then a pantry is kind of eliminated, which is crazy.
Last but not least, but how did I feel after I had it all done? Well,
like a rock star, everything is clean, it looks pretty, I get rid of stuff. Woo!